Hello everyone, welcome to this new tutorial. As you can see, today we're gonna learn how to create this nice orange juice and this beautiful glass using Luxcore render. So I made a first reference, as you can see here, and what we're gonna do is to recreate this effect using another layer. So let's disable this one and start with a new layer. So what you need to do to make this class is to follow a simple pattern. It is this one. In Luxcore, you need to have your glass material, your glass container this way, and have your juice. If you make a section, you need to have this part of your juice going through the glass, and if you do that this way, you're gonna make it work. So we're gonna follow this pattern, and let's go. First thing you need to do is to make the glass container. So I add a plane, and by default a plane in Blender is 2 meter wide, so I make it smaller. In edit mode this is very important. I make it smaller in edit mode, so 0.1. so my plane now have a total size of 0.2 meter, so 20 centimeter. Z axis 1, and I can start to create my glass container. So switch to edge. I will make it a bit smaller again, so I get 15 centimeter. Okay, this, okay, it's nice. Let's make this part a bit smaller, okay, and this part a bit larger. Okay, I think this is nice, and let's delete these vertices here, but before that let's destroy this one, and it's like this. Okay, so I make the first part of my glass, and Blender will automatically make the next part. So we'll use a spin to create the entire glass. Okay, like this. Okay, I think this one is nice. We can use a spin modifier here. Spin modifier, where is it? Spin modifier. No, the screw modifier, not spin. Okay, we have it now. As you can see in wireframe, we have this part and this part. We can merge vertices, and now we have our basic class. Then we can add more detail in it by applying a subsurf modifier. Okay, as you can see, we lose some shape, so we're gonna fix that. Select all the parts here and Ctrl B to make a bevel. Okay, I think it's nice this way. Very nice. Look like we need to apply the screw modifier, but before that we'll use our screw modifier to make also the juice volume inside the class. So let's switch to wireframe again and select a single vertices, put it here. Okay, as you can see, we need to reproduce this pattern, so we put our vertices here and we make this happen. Okay, this part will represent the juice volume, orange juice volume, so I have to make it go a bit beyond the class shader. So let's go this way, this way too. Okay, we have vertices here. Okay, need to add bevel here, press V. Okay, it's nice. Now, as you can see, we have this okay, I think it's nice. We have our volume here and we have also our class here. So now we can just apply the modifier, this one. Okay, apply it, and we now have to make sure that our objects normal are well oriented. So we calculate outside and play it like this. This is nice. So now the next part is to give all the material the shader. Okay, the first shader you need to add is the class one. So class tut. Okay, because I have already another class shader and you have a matte shader appearing here, so you change it to class and you can check. We go in the word panel. I have already an HDRI, so I enable it and try to see. We see a simple kind of glass and water, okay, as the glass material applied to all the objects. So we need to make the inside of the glass material to be juice, a foggy juice like this. First thing, we need to make sure that our glass material use a proper clear volume. So I add a clear volume here and I make it 1.5. Nice. Okay, second thing is to create the next shader. The next shader is the juice orange, juicy orange. Okay, we also need a glass shader to make it, so we need this one, and this time we need another volume, but not clear volume, because we have some particle inside the volume. So choose homogeneous volume and go to the interior slot, and then you can check what is happening. Nothing, because we did not apply this new shader to our volume inside. So we apply it and we can look at it, and you can start to see that there are some kind of particle, white particle inside. So to make this particle more foggy, you have to increase this value, scattering scale. So let's apply something like 25, and you can see that it is more and more foggy. We need a color, an orange color here, so we use absorption as the coloring. Make it like this, orange, and you have to reduce the depth to make it more orange. So 0.1, and I think we need a bit more, 0.05. okay, then now we have our orange, but as you can see it is pretty different from what we have here. So you also need to increase again the value of the scattering scale, and let's make something like 45 or maybe 50. Okay, now that we have this applied, you can see that the volume inside is a bit darker. What you can do to change this problematic issue, you need to enable multi-scattering. As you can see, with multi-scattering you have more clear volume inside the glass, so this is nice. You can also try to reduce here the reflection and to make it more clear. Sometimes I use 1.3. okay, because the higher the reflection, the harder light will have to pass through this volume. So use a smaller reflection in this. I use 1.33, and as you can see we have a clear orange juice inside. So you can check now how it look when I change the lighting condition. So first thing we need to do is to disable the HDRI none, and switch to the first lighting condition. I used to like this version, so switch here, this one, enable it, and I can see how it look. Okay, as you can see there is a small difference, and this is due to one more thing. The scattering events happening inside the orange juice is colored in white. This make our juice a bit yellowish, so we need to make it a bit colored to make it look a bit like a true orange. Okay, so you can see that it is happening. It's starting to be a bit orange, but I want to make it less orange and change here the absorption to have a nicer result. Okay, 0.3, and you can see that we have a closer color, but I will use 0.4 and 0.4, and I think 0.45 is a better choice. Okay, the next thing you need to do to make your glass and orange juice appear very interesting no matter the lighting condition is to play with the shadow color. So for the orange juice inside, I used to make it totally white, so it can easily brightening itself. So you can see that if I make the shadow color black, you can see that the orange juice is is pretty dark. Okay, but if I make it a bit white, you can see that light is passing easily through the the juice volume. So this is nice. Another thing you need to consider is that you need to set the priority. So as light pass through the glass container before hitting the volume inside, the juice volume inside, you need to have the priority of the glass to be higher than the priority of the volume inside. So I will set my clear volume glass here to 1 and have 0 as my priority for the volume inside. So as you can see, it is working. And the next thing you can do is to also reduce a bit the shadow color of our glass, so we can enable more light to pass through the glass and hit the volume inside. So what I used to do is to make the shadow color something like an HSV and 0.3. Okay, you can see that if we make it totally white, the volume inside start to be too bright, so I use it as a controller. So 0.3 is a good value for me all the time. So we have shadow color set here and shadow color set to totally white for the juice inside. So as you can see, they are close. We can add a pipe inside to see how it looks. So let's make a small pipe. Okay. Okay. It's just to check if everything is good. So let's disable the light. Go in wireframe. Okay, I will put it, make it close to this part. So okay, nice. I think it's nice. Need to make it not to touch the glass. So okay, I need to put it here. Okay, this is nice. Now we need to apply a smooth shader, shade smooth, and we need also to make sure we have a bevel here, so we can apply a surf modifier on it. Okay. Okay, nice. Apply a surf modifier on it. Nice. Give it the color you want. Change it to green or blue, it's depend on you. And let's check if we can see inside the glass and the orange juice and see the pipe. Like we need a lighting condition. So as you can see, the pipe is clearly visible. So what we can do is to change the position of the pipe so it is less closer to the outside. Okay, put it a bit inside, as you can see, and this is our result. As you can see, we did not use light tracing. We also did not use caches. We simply use simple setting like this: total path 16 and specular 16. As you can see, I also put glosses to 16 because if you want to have a foggy glass, you need a higher number. So let's use a rough glass here this time. And a rough glass, and okay, it is not here. We need a rough glass for the glass container, so use a rough glass here. As you can see, it is very foggy and you cannot see easily the light inside, so we have to change the lighting to make it visible. So we switch to our HDRI lighting, and you can see how it's look now. Okay, you can see that when we put the glass container in rough material, the inside of the glass, the volume is very dark. If you use a normal clear glass, you can see through this glass. Okay, first thing to do is to play with the shadow color. Okay, make it white so you can easily have light to pass through. And another thing you need to make sure is that your glossy here is set to an higher number, because if your glossy shadow is your glossy depth is lower like this, you will have a dark glass, because rough glass is ruled by this value. So you need to put an higher number also, and make sure when you are using a rough glass container to use a white shadow color, so you can enable more light to pass through the glass and hit the volume inside. If you make it darker, then you have less volume, less light passing through, so less gray shadow color is for clear glass like this, and whiter is for rough material, rough. Okay, as you can see, it is working, and thank you for watching, and see you the next time.